Welcome to another episode of Wine Vault TV. I'm Jason Bryant from the Wine Vault, and we've got two wines today, both from Marlborough. The Cloudy Bay Pinot, which is 05, and was a pretty good vintage in Marlborough. And for me, this wine has always demonstrated what Cloudy Bay can do with Pinot Noir. It's been the lesser of their wines up until now, and the 05 for me was really a Pinot from Marlborough that I could take seriously, from Cloudy Bay especially. The next one is Saint Clair 2007 Sauvignon Blanc, and the winemaker Matt Thompson he makes wines for a lot of people, and Saint Clair have probably got the most Sauvignon Blancs on the market of any winery probably in the world. They've got Pioneer Block this, they've got Berry Block that, Cell Block this, Block 11, 1, 2, 3, and the list is endless. And plus they make Pinot Noir, they make Chardonnay. I mean, they just make a truckload of wine, albeit in quite small volumes relative to the amount of wines that they make. And for me, I would just rather they just make Saint Clair Sauvignon, Saint Clair Chardonnay, Saint Clair Pinot, and just put all your best efforts into that one wine, rather than make blocks of this and blocks of that and number from 1 to 50. I think it works so much better for them. But they do actually make some very good wine. And this got International Wine and Spirits of Producer of the Year in London. So not the actual wine, but the producer got it. So they've immediately I get a stone fruit, a kind of gooseberry. And when we were kids, we used to go scrumping, and at this one place, and we used to get green gages, and it's got gooseberry green gauge right on the nose, and it just takes me back to when I used to go scrumping as a kid, about 3 days ago. Still get that kind of green gauge, and it actually came from where we used to go scrumping. It used to be called green gauges, no, green ways, and we used to scrump green gauges from green ways, and it just reminds me of that. It's got that really great acid where you're biting into a Granny Smith apple and you get that malic acid all over, and it's just quite a fun wine. It's not overly complex. It's a very typical Marlborough Sauvignon with a bit of stone fruit, but fun for me because it takes me back to when I was a kid. And if anybody's got Facebook, they're catching up with all their old school pals and on Facebook, and it's quite nostalgic for me. So it's pretty good, and it's great kind of in the middle of summer like we're having now, and it's really hot. Take this straight out of the fridge, put it in a glass, bit of fish, bit of salmon, but pretty much whitefish and shellfish, and it's great. So value wise, I'd give it 95 points, but as a wine, I'd probably wouldn't crack the 90 for me. It's a really good fun wine, and so value wise, I mean, it's great, but the complexity isn't really there. Texturally it's okay, but I'm going to go 89 points. The next wine, like I already said, this is for me it was when Cloudy Bay started making Pinot properly. It's quite nice. It's got a great colour. Just starting to go a bit kind of bricky on the edge. Especially like New Zealand, we wouldn't really know about bricks because everything's made of wood, but you get a distinct kind of, I don't know whether you can see that against the white, a little kind of brick colour around the edge, which after 3 years, it's quite surprising, but it's lovely and light in colour, and it's not this big over extracted dark kind of red cherry fruit that you find with Central Otago Pinot. It's got quite a smoky nose. Very smoky nose. But it's very rich. It's just fantastic Pinot Noir from Marlborough. You get that earthiness that comes through, which I really like on a Pinot Noir. It's not, it's quite gamey. That's what I'm getting now. It's that kind of venison, and you've got a bit of oak from the forest, and they've just chucked in a bit of forest floor for good measure, and so you're getting kind of that. It's like a hunting trip where you're just going out and you can smell, on an autumn day, you can smell the forest, you can smell the oak, and kind of mushroom, but it's actually got very lively red fruit in there as well. And it's got really good palate weight. Still got a good few years left in the bottle. Just a tad too much kind of heat at the end. It's quite hot at the end, but it's very well balanced, and it's probably, for me, their best wine nowadays. They do a pretty good Sauvignon, they do a great Chardonnay, but for me now the Pinot Noir is probably the best wine of the stable. So I'm going to give that 91 points. 91 points. Because if you remember, I gave the Sauvignon of Cloudy Bay 91 points, and so this matches it. So I'm going to go 91 plus. Having said all that, so that's me. Ka kite anō from the Wine Vault TV. And I was your host, Jason Bryant.